So we ready to go?
Sure.
Well, I am so excited I get to be out and about with my good friend Heather Webb, and just talk a little about your experience serving cross-culturally. Heather, thanks for joining us. I will tell you, we call this former Missionaries in Cars Getting Coffee, and on multiple occasions I've forgotten to have coffee.
Well, I'm real glad you didn't.
So I
forget
didn't
today.
this morning, and I actually specifically brewed some coffee from Rwanda that Charles Nsengiyumva gave to me when I was there for the All Africa Assembly, which was at the same time as the Children of Promise Global Learning Forum. And so excited that we get to share some delicious coffee and hopefully some good stories today.
Yes. So I was really hoping that you would remember coffee.
Yes, I did.
Because I limit myself now to 2 cups a day.
Oh,
it was
wow.
1 cup when the baby was first born. And now
How do you do that?
It's 2 cups.
Wow.
So this is my 2nd cup. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome. And it is fully leaded. It has all of the
Perfect.
caffeine in it
I'm
that
gonna
you
need
need. So tell us, Heather, you served globally, but before we jump into some of the backstory to that, where did you serve? Because it wasn't just in one location. I think that's really fascinating. You were actually in a couple different places, right?
We've only served internationally with the Church of God. The first time we were considered SAM, Special Assignment Missionaries, and we served in Indonesia for 2 years. And then we transitioned to what was called at the time, and what I think it's still called, career missionaries. First in Tanzania as missionaries in Tanzania, and then after some time back in the U.S. for a couple of years, we went back, lived in Tanzania again, but served as regional coordinators for Africa for the Church of God.
That's 2 very different locations. I mean, Indonesia, Asia, very different than Africa.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought about is how cool it is that your experience serving in multiple different cultural backgrounds. I mean, Indonesia, which is Asian, and then Tanzania, where it's African, has really prepared you for what you're doing now as you work with Children of Promise in multiple. I mean, in how many different countries? 30 different countries. 31 different countries. And so I just think that's a really cool way that God's walked that path with you to this cool place where you're using all those different skills and those relationships, like you said, to do that.
Yeah.
Are there any funny language stories or cultural stories that you could share with us?
So there's one that I can share on camera and one that I can tell you later.
Which I will surreptitiously record and then send to everybody later.
No, you will not.
Okay, I will not.
So we were overseeing the ministry of this tailoring school in Dodoma in Tanzania, and Pastor Priska is the teacher and the leader of this school. So this was pretty early on in our time there, and I'm struggling to pull words together, and I wanted to give her a compliment, and
which is always good to do.
Yes, until it goes wrong.
Yeah, it's a good start. You had a good start there. I just want everyone to know
my
you had
heart
a really
was
good
in the right
intention.
place to give her a compliment. So the word for it's really used for like a university level school is chuo, CHUO. And the word for toilet, and also what you do in the toilet, is cho, CHOO.
Yeah.
So I was trying to compliment her and say that she was the leader of the school, the leader of this institution.
Yeah.
And I called her the mkuu wa cho, the leader of the toilet, or the leader of the pile in the toilet. When actually I really wanted to say that she was the leader of the institution.
You are not a bathroom attendant. You are, in fact, the leader of the school.
The leader of this wonderful school. Yeah.
Wow, that's funny. And it was one of the phrases I did learn, wapi cho, right? Something like that, to ask where the bathroom is. I know, it's exactly right.
It's not exactly right.
It's exactly what I'm supposed to say.
People, if you are communicating,
yeah,
people would understand what you're asking.
I know, I knew the word cho.
Yes.
The rest of it, I am.
And wapi is where?
Oh, where bathroom?
Where toilet?
Yeah. See?
It's not exactly how you would say it, but
well,
you're close. You know this isn't my house, right?
I know, this is not your house. you and your husband are co-executive directors of Children of Promise. And so tell us about that organization.
Yep. So since 1992, Children of Promise has been making wholeness possible for kids around the world through child sponsorship. It's an organization that was started by Sydney and Jean Johnson, who were missionaries in Asia, and then following them was Paul and Brenda Maxfield, and so we're just honored to be in a legacy, in a line of really incredible leaders doing incredible work. It's like you're saying, the relationships that we built specifically when we were regional coordinators in Africa.
Yeah.
Many of the national leaders of the Church of God are also the Children of Promise directors.
Yeah, especially in Africa.
Especially in Africa,
Yeah.
primarily in Africa. And so having those years as regional coordinators to develop really strong relationships with each of those leaders, closing the chapter of regional coordinators to come into leadership in Children of Promise, it didn't feel like a goodbye to all of those people that we had grown to love and work with. It really became just a continuation in a different way of serving with them.
Cool.
Yeah, so Children of Promise, child sponsorship, nutrition, education, healthcare, discipleship, all in the context of the local Church of God in 30 countries.
That's awesome.
31 countries. And growing.
Childrenofpromise.global if they want to look it up.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that right? I was trying to make sure I had it right because I know it changed, so I want to make sure I get the right one.
For some reason that didn't sound right, and I was nervous that I was going to say yes and it wasn't right. But it is right.
It is right.
Thank you for knowing our website.
Yeah, well, Heather, thank you so much for what you do.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for the path that God has taken us on.
Yeah, and hopefully people check out Children of Promise.
Childrenofpromise.global.
.global. Go check it out.